Yo, let me tell you something. I have never felt more proud to be Jewish in my life. I'm here in Israel. I'm Israel Chai.
Yo, let me tell you something. I have never felt more proud to be Aryan in my life than I do right now, standing here in Auschwitz. I is really high.
We, the Jewish people, we are the chosen people. That doesn't mean that any other race, creed, color, denomination isn't fabulous, isn't special, but the Jews are the chosen people.
We, the Aryan Brotherhood, are the master race. And that's not to say that there aren't other races, cultures, creeds, colors that aren't also fabulous, that aren't also special. But we, the Aryan Brethren, we're the master race.
And it is so apparent when you're in Israel, the Jewish land, and you're with the Jewish people of Israel, how magical we are.
And nowhere is that more apparent than standing right here where I am in Auschwitz, okay? Being with the Aryan people of Greater Germany, that's a magical thing, okay?
This is ancient Judean land, all this. That's biblical shit, okay? That's biblical. You can't debate any of that.
This is ancient Aryan white land, and that's biblical, okay? You can't debate in that shit, okay, dog?
I want to make sure the Jews are the chosen people, and that's no disrespect to anything or anybody else, but the Jews are the chosen people.
And I mean no disrespect to all of our slaves, but the Aryan people are the masters of the universe, all right?
Israel's going nowhere, and the Jewish people are going nowhere.
I'll tell you something else. We, the Aryan people, we're going nowhere, all right? The Aryan people are going nowhere in this life.
Oh my God, I almost peed when you did the oi like that. Oh my God, I literally almost peed my pants. Rathbone, it is so good to have you back. I have missed you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm pleased to be back. I'm sorry it took so long for us to do it all again, but thank you for having me back on. Yeah, what's wrong with that guy?
Oh my God, first of all, this makes me feel like he is going to beat the shit out of me. I don't understand why he talks like that.
Yeah,
it's so fucking scary.
I just wonder how much STD is like on his phone. He's just constantly spitting. He's so abrasive. Yeah, he's so easy to parody. I feel like I at first when I started making response videos to Michael Rappaport, I took him seriously. Like I was very like straight about it, but I realized that it's more effective if you just try to do his bit for him, but just change the language up, you know?
Absolutely, because you are spot on. Every time they say we are the chosen people, all I hear is you're a white supremacist. That's all you fucking hear. It's
right.
And
he's speaking out of both sides of his mouth, you know? I mean, the whole chosen people thing is just so ridiculous. Like, you know, Dr. Marwandi, I don't know if you know the Iranian professor that's been doing a bunch of interviews. He's so on point, but he's like, we don't believe that there is a chosen people. Okay. We believe that all people are created equal. We don't put one above another. And that's what they're doing. I mean, they're just basically saying we have a Nazi ideology, we have a supremacist ideology, and in this case, it's just a different social group. It's not Aryans. It's we think Jewish people are better than. It's like saying Scientologists are the master, cult, the master people, and it's ridiculous. So yeah, I think just replacing it with Nazi. I mean, it's pretty much. I don't know if it's. By the way, I've been getting real censored everywhere I go. So I hope I don't say anything out of line. But
I've been
anyway.
getting some strikes, and I've done my show for 8 years, and I've just started getting strikes. I wonder why. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if it has anything to do with the flag behind you.
Yeah. If I wasn't so repulsed with the idea of buying a blue and white flag, I wonder. No, I can't. It would be an interesting experiment, but no, I can't do that.
I actually did buy one so I could burn it. But I was going to do it. Yeah, I was going to do it on stream. But I've been getting banned on every app. I've been having to do this whole song and dance where I'm pivoting from one app to another from being censored and all this. So I'm hesitant to do any more things. Like the last time I got banned. I'm permanently banned on TikTok Live because I wore a ski mask on one of my lives and put the Houthi flag behind me. And that was that just reeked of terrorism, apparently. So
yeah.
T-wordism, I should say. I shouldn't say the T word, but
yeah, you started saying condom, and I was like, yeah, straight up. And I started saying CIA instead of CIA, and
yeah. Oh yeah, there's all these dumb things you have to do to spread the truth. It's quite outrageous.
Because TikTok has absolutely become the pro-Palestine place. I mean, without question.
Yeah. Yeah, and even then, I mean, every time I make a video about Palestine or mention Israel, you notice that the view count is just not there. Early on, I would agree with you. It probably still is because I think Meta's they're far more what's the word, authoritarian, I guess, when it comes to mentioning. You can't even say the Z word on the air or the V word. Vote.
I thought you were gonna say vagina. I was like, oh, I didn't know that.
I know, that's why I had to clarify. I knew that for our audience.
You can't even say vote, even if you say Kamala.
I think anything political. That's what I've heard. Even the V word is being they're suppressing that, and I know that they shared a policy recently, an updated policy about how Zionist is pejorative now, and it's saying Zionism. Just saying the word is anti-Semitic.
Even though we have countless Jewish brothers and sisters who say Judaism is not Zionism.
Absolutely.
Zionism is a political ideology, not a religion.
Yeah,
whereas Palestinians are Semitics. They're Semites.
Exactly.
So what the fuck?
You're hitting the nail right on the head. I have the same. I'm right there with you. I don't get it either, but it's the world we live in. It's pretty outrageous. Yeah, to conflate, and that's a point that I try to make in all, because I do understand that being against Israel invites actual Judeophobes, that want to seize upon that, weaponize that, and you have to remind everyone. I try to make a very always articulate point to say that Judaism is not Zionism. You can't conflate a national territory with a religious faith. Let's have critical thinking here. It's a political organization that's committing ethnic cleansing in the name of Judaism. Right. That is the most Judeo-phobic thing I could think of,
Absolutely. And the Jewish comrades I've interviewed, say from Jewish Voice for Peace and people like that, they have said that makes them unsafe. They don't feel unsafe for being pro-Palestine. They feel unsafe because of being used by so many people who are not Jewish to say you're anti-Semitic. And it also lessens, you know, how profound the anti-Semitic people being anti-Semitic is, because there is obviously anti-Semitism in the world.
Right.
There always has been, but the reaction is not going to be as profound when you are throwing that word around 24/7 just
Oh,
to
yeah.
be a professional victim. And that's what's being done.
And they're so good at that, right? Centering themselves as the victim, even when they're the most tyrannical oppressor you can possibly imagine. But
Absolutely.
yeah, I completely agree. That even the whole word anti-Semite, it's just like I don't even like to say it anymore because it's been so abused and misabused and disabused that it doesn't even have a meaning anymore. It's devoid of meaning. It's just being politicized. And so I just say, you know, and I try to also come to the understanding, and this is actually, these are thoughts that were shared to me by an actual rabbi. I forgot his, I think it's Yaakov Shapiro, maybe. There's one rabbi that is very vocal.
I know who that is, yeah.
He's very vocal. He's very anti-Zionist, and he states it very plainly. He says, Judaism is not an ethnicity, it's a religion, you know, and to say that anti-Semite, like you brought up, Palestinians are Semites, like you're saying that being Jewish is like, you know, an ethnicity, it's you're Semitic, but you know, you don't have to be Jewish to be Semitic, and you don't need to be Jewish to be a Zionist either.
Right.
You know, most Zionists are actually Christian. You know, so it's a political movement, and we just need to be resolutely, you know, rejecting it. And I don't know, but you know, I feel like right now with the election coming up, I don't know if you know how you are seeing it, but it's wild to see liberals just double down for Kamala Harris, and I'm just you know, I'm disgusted by obviously both parties, you know,
like Ilhan Omar bootlicking, like things like that. Like
I forgot it would I mean, I'm sure she has. I don't know if any specific like quotes. Maybe you know more, but yeah, I mean the AOC, all of them.
Ilhan just came out with a quote. She was being interviewed by Mehdi Hassan, and he asked her, he said, you know, vice presidential candidate Butch Ware, who is a Black Muslim, stated that you should be ashamed because as a Muslim woman, you are disregarding all of your Muslim brothers and sisters who stand against Kamala because of the genocide she's doing. And she's like, she just like went off, and she's like, no, I'm voting for Kamala. And like, fuck you then. Fuck you. Like,
you know, yeah. If a
not
genocide,
even just voting for her is bad enough, but when you go on these shows and promote her and you endorse her and you stand on the stage with her and say, everyone vote for her, that makes it 100 times worse.
Absolutely. Apologizing for it, defending it, placating on behalf of it. It's all very disgusting to me.
It is.
And yeah, I mean, some content creators are saying that, you know, well, Kamala has a $25,000 down payment assistance plan for first-time home buyers. Oh my God. So Trump doesn't. So let's vote Kamala. It's like these people.
Yeah, but I don't think they even read between the lines on that shit, because I did.
Yeah,
and it says
you did tell me.
Up to 25. And it says, you know, you still, a lot of it's going to be loans and stuff like that. Like, and it's means
there's all this red tape baked into it, but it sounds nice. Right.
And what it is, it's going to cost people, it's going to be so much worse, because they're going to say, okay, we don't have to lower rent or put a cap on rent because we gave this option. And if you're unhoused, we're giving you $25,000, just buy a house. And then as a homeowner, I know having a mortgage fucking sucks. And for 30 years, we're slaves to it.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
That's what's going to happen, because unhoused people are being encouraged to try for this. They're going to, and then for 30 years, like 25,000, that's not even a fucking down payment. What are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Our house is very modest. It's like $150,000 house, which is a ranch. it's like a ranch or what they call it. It's like a,
Okay.
like a
Right.
one floor type, and
Yeah.
that's literally unheard of anywhere else. Like you cannot get
Yeah.
even like a fucking shed for that
Dude.
much,
Yeah.
and
Breadcrumbs.
25,000.
Yeah. These people are just like, these content creators that I see on TikTok that are like promoting Kamala Harris is just like, okay, how much are they paying you?
Yeah,
What are you getting out
exactly.
of this? Obviously.
And the fact of the matter is, like, these are people who act like they are with us. They go to the marches and they scream stuff like Genocide Joe. And then they're like,
But
but we need
Kamala, yeah.
to vote for her.
Yeah.
Why? Why do we need to? You are a fucking hypocrite, because
Yep.
why do you say that shit? Like, you're acknowledging they're committing genocide and you are giving them the approval of doing that. You are saying no ramifications. Literally, our vote is all we fucking have. That's it. Because we've been in the streets for over a fucking year. We've disrupted, we've protested, we've done everything, and we're still not being listened to. So all we have is our vote. Nothing is going to make it more obvious that we mean fucking business that when Michigan goes to Jill Stein. That is going to
Yes.
be a rude fucking awakening. And I'm in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
I'm voting for Jill. There is no fucking way I'm voting for anyone else. People can
Right.
try and flip their shit all they fucking want.
Mm-hmm.
I watched in 2016, I watched people from my Bernie campaign office. I'm writing them in. I'm writing them in. I'm writing them in. And then at the last minute, vote for Hizzlebub and hate themselves and get so fucking depressed that they betrayed every single thing they fought for and believed in for someone who ended up losing anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. Like, she's going to win without my vote or lose without my vote.
Mm-hmm.
It matters to me. I'm the one that has to fucking live with it. Like,
Right.
and they say, oh, well, if you would vote for her and 100 other people, then get the fuck on the phone, start knocking doors. What the fuck? I don't have that responsibility. Nobody should be more active right now than the Democrats, because they should be like, yo, I'm a Democrat. You shouldn't, rep my party like this. It offends me. And if you want people to vote for you, I demand a ceasefire. I demand an arms embargo. But it's that
Mm-hmm.
hubris where it's like, we're going to win regardless. It doesn't matter.
She's
Okay,
speaking.
we'll see.
Yeah. Don't talk over Kamala. She's speaking. Okay. Do you want Trump to win? Do you want me to let the dog loose? Okay. Well, then shut your mouth and eat this shit sandwich that we're giving you.
It's going to be so much worse.
Yes.
Okay. Red genocide. Holy fuck. I know Palestine is fucking terrified of a different person committing genocide.
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy. And we actually have videos about this. Matt, sorry, I'm like going off on a tangent. I pulled some videos together from this week that we can watch. Matt, if you want to show the first one.
Cool.
I do have a statement that Leonard wrote in 1982. The Leonard Peltier support group got it to me, and I got Leonard's permission to read it. The man, he could have written it today. I was listening to your intro, and he said, I am the voice of everyone who died without having a chance. That is still his voice. And he asked tonight for help from all of us. He wants to go home and die with his people. He told me, I'm not scared of dying. I don't want to die in here. And, we all need to raise our voices. Would you like me to read this statement?
Absolutely.
Okay, statement of Leonard Peltier. Solidarity with Palestinian and Lebanese freedom fighters. Greetings, comrades, brothers and sisters. I send to you and the Palestinian people my strongest solidarity during this critical period in the struggle of the PLO and Lebanese people against the forces of U.S. and Israeli aggression. Myself, members of the American Indian Movement, Leonard Peltier Defense Committee, and its support groups stand in solidarity with the struggle of the Palestinian people for their traditional land. We understand your struggle based on our continuing war against the U.S. government and their attempts to annihilate us as a people and to steal what remains of our traditional land, as shown by their actions at Wounded Knee, Big Mountain, and most recently at Lame Deer on the Northern Cheyenne Nation. The Israeli troops, in carrying out their genocidal campaign, are acting today as the 7th Cavalry acted in the past and continues to act in Indian country. They are the war criminals who will be tried for their butchery of the Lebanese and Palestinian people in Lebanon. If I were free today, I would take our red warriors to fight side by side with the freedom fighters of the PLO and to smash the imperialist forces of the U.S. and Israel. I know that the forces of liberation must and shall come together to fight as a united front in unity of the 4 colors. We, as red warriors, call upon the yellow, black, and white freedom fighters to stand united with the PLO in uncompromising solidarity against the Zionist forces of Israel. I send my love and blood as a prisoner of war within the belly of the beast to those who continue to struggle. Victory to the Palestinian and Lebanese freedom fighters. Leonard Peltier, POW, Marion Federal Prison, July 13th, 1982.
Wow.
The man could see into the future.
I cannot believe that was written over 40 years ago.
Right.
Wow.
Exactly. That is pure Leonard. And he told me tonight, I'm not giving up. I'm not going to turn into a snitch. I'm not going to tell them what they want to hear. I'm not going to beg and say, oh, I did it. Let me go. You know, I've been married and widowed twice. I did not know what commitment looked like until I met Leonard Peltier. He says, if you believe in something, you must be willing to sacrifice everything. And he has. He has.
Whew. Is that
Wow.
not just like mind blowing?
Powerful.
It is. He could have written that today.
I thought it was written today until the date
Right?
was announced. Yeah. Because I was wondering who that was. I don't know that name, Leonard Peltier.
So she is actually Leonard's legal assistant.
Okay.
Last Monday, I did a Indigenous Peoples Day forum. I
Mhm.
had Leonard's spiritual advisor, his lawyer's assistant, and a Indigenous woman who sits on his board. So it was a panel of all 3 people who are very, very close to Leonard personally. And we're going on close to 50
Well, there he is.
years. We're about to hit the 50-year mark of him being imprisoned. And
Yeah.
I wanted to spend Indigenous Peoples Day highlighting a fucking hero. And
Absolutely.
I was just so fortunate and am so honored that the 3 of them joined. And it was, if you guys want to see it, the full show is on my YouTube page. But yeah, it was that part especially. I was just like trying not to fucking bawl. It was just incredible. Absolutely.
Hi, Holly, by the way.
Oh, Holly here. Hi, Holly.
And Blarg and PC3. Yeah, I'd never heard of Leonard Peltier, but I caught on that he was obviously analogizing or drawing a parallel to the Native American genocide, and how it's the principal contradiction here is imperialism versus anti-imperialism, and there was solidarity.
Oh, you're not familiar with Leonard?
I am not. No.
Oh, okay. So he's an Indigenous person who has always been a freedom fighter and an activist, and He was on the reservation where Wounded Knee happened.
Okay.
And the FBI came and shot up a bunch of people, and he had a gun because he was there protecting, the indigenous peoples.
He's on his
And
land. Yeah.
they put him in prison for 50 years now as a political prisoner.
Just because he had a gun, or
Yeah. There were over 40 people there, not even including the FBI, who had a gun. They hid evidence that proved him innocent. Everything, just everything you can imagine. So it's completely unjust. He was just up for parole again in July. He was denied. He is very sick, and they will not give him compassionate release either. It's
despicable.
one of the biggest injustices.
I'm
in our
surprised I've
country.
never heard of this. Is Leonard? What was he charged with?
He was charged with killing 2 of the FBI agents,
even though
that
he
got caught in fire.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a hero, if that's true.
Right. It's not, but I'm like, I ain't that mad. Like,
Based.
right? Like, after all that's happened to him after 50
Right.
years, like,
Yeah.
I mean, and he was on the same location. Wounded Knee happened. Like,
Yeah.
that's what's so fucked up. He's the longest indigenous prisoner in history.
Oh wow.
So yeah, definitely look more into him, because he
I
is
will.
just he's such an incredible person, and he's 80. So he's in there for life. So we gotta get him the fuck out. Because I have
That's so
no
sad.
doubt he really would be in the streets. Like, I have no fucking doubt. And you can
Well,
tell,
He's
by
right, like
that.
she said. She's he's given up everything. He's
Absolutely.
willing to die for the cause.
And if you guys, I don't know if you guys watching, if you saw that episode, but definitely, even if you don't watch the episode, Google Leonard Peltier's paintings. Oh my God. They are like photographs of native settings. I have never seen anything like it in my life. And commissary only gets like 3 colors, and they're shit paints and stuff. And but that's what keeps him sane in prison. And he paints these I've never seen art like this in my life. They are so realistic and so breathtaking. So yeah, he's just, oh, Matt, I feel like are you looking it up?
Probably. Okay. Wow.
Do you want to click on one, Matt, so people can see? He does
like
a
the
lot
old
of
lady
people
smoking.
and horses.
Wow.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, he has like 3 colors, and they're
at least he's like, making art in his captivity, and he's refined his a talent and a skill. He's made himself, productive, given the circumstances. I mean, I don't know what I would do.
I know. Oh my
Beautiful.
God. So free Leonard Peltier, 100%. We are with you, Leonard, for sure. So I wanted to share that just because it was on Indigenous Peoples Day last week, and it was so profound the way he spoke about Palestine decades ago. Matt, what do we have next?
Here is part 2 of private chefing on an army base for 600 soldiers in Israel. After cutting way too many onions, I get all of my mise en place and start on a fennel, potato, and celery salad, and I get turmeric all over myself. The IDF not only has Israelis, but Moroccans, Druze, and Arabs, so there was pressure when it came to my spice game. These soldiers also love their spice, so I added all of the peppers, and I could not find an oven mitt, so I'm using my apron and ran into a food bag. And yes, I'm using jarred garlic. Don't judge me. There were a lot of mouths to feed for my chickpea stew with
fish balls.
I also made this delicious zucchini vegetable dish, and then all of my very hungry soldiers lined up from Gaza, and yes, I got in a Hummer. I couldn't help myself. And then it was time to serve the lunch, and there were hundreds of soldiers lining up for my delicious food, which they loved. This soldier was one of the cutest ones, so of course I personally fed him seconds, but there were other runners. After many hours of cooking, I went to take a break. Just for reference, this is how close I was to Gaza. Then I went to do dinner service and ended with some salad. soldiers gave me some high fives, so I think my food made the cut. We packed up more meals, then I ended the day with falafel.
Yeah, nobody's judging you for your jarred garlic.
Right? Exactly.
That's the
Like,
least that we're judging you for, okay?
but he was really cute.
Yeah, I love that you're thirst trapping as you're,
Exactly.
feeding the genocidal occupation army.
This is how close I was to garlic, to
This
Gaza.
Nazi was really cute. I gave him seconds.
I didn't ask how many people he killed because I was like, whatever, he's really cute.
So, like, how many babies have you decapitated?
But it's not
So gross.
mine. I'd make babies with you.
Yeah, right.
Wink, wink. I could stay for another few nights if you want.
Yeah.
I rode in your Hummer, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
could
my
you be
God,
more
so
fucking
cringe.
insipid?
And then what was the song at the end? It looked like, or are they stealing another Palestinian song and trying to rebrand it as an Israeli thing?
Probably. Yeah.
Safe bet. All that food that they were cooking, where did they steal those recipes from?
I know. It's
They're
almost like,
not-
where'd you get all that food?
Right. That's so crazy that you guys could eat. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
You aren't being put on a diet, as
Yeah,
they've said about Palestine.
that's right. You're not in a man-made famine. That's cool.
Have you seen recently, like the past week or so, how multiple sources have come out that Anthony Blinken knew for a fact this whole time that they were impeding aid from getting into Gaza?
I didn't know that it was proven beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah,
What was-
absolutely. One of his assistants is the one who first whistle blew because she was told by him to make false reports, saying that these two organizations did not find any proof that was happening. And she resigned and came out and said,
Oh,
they did find it. And this has been going on for months.
wait, you're
He was
telling me
asked
that
about it.
the
What's
State
that?
Department lies? The State Department lies to us?
I tell the fuck off my chair. I just I don't even know how to fucking handle it.
No, I'm
But-
sorry. I didn't mean to keep going. Please, I want to learn more.
I mean, it's just like,
and so
they
I didn't know that there was a whistleblower.
yeah. And he was
she
actually
resigned.
asked about it on a news show, surprisingly, and he's like, no, that wasn't really like what happened. But it's just like, oh my God, that alone is war crimes.
Oh,
Hey,
absolutely.
motherfucker.
Oh, absolutely.
Like-
And remember, when asked about the blockage of the humanitarian aid, he famously has said that, oh, well, it's not getting it into the Gaza Strip, it's getting it around the Gaza Strip.
Right.
Thereby blaming another underhanded, sort of backhanded way of blaming Hamas. Like, oh, they're, what are they, bootlegging the aid and all this nonsense.
Yeah.
They just can't get it around because it's unsafe. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be happy to learn more about what her actual, quotes were, or what she actually
Yeah,
said.
absolutely.
That's interesting.
I'll have to send you the articles for sure.
Yeah. I need to get back on. I've been sick for the past few days, so
Me too.
there's a lot I've missed. Oh yeah, you too?
Yeah. That's why I was
New.
talking about the damn ginger ale.
Oh yeah, ginger is
I don't want
very
fucking
good.
ginger ale. Matt, what do we have up next? I know we have, that was one of the cringersons, but yeah, this gentleman I've seen do a few videos and it's heartbreaking.
Oh, okay.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm talking to you now from the infamous capital of Norway, Oslo. We have got very alarming news from North Gaza this morning and through the night. The Israeli occupation forces are surrounding, besieging, and attacking the Al-Auda hospital and the Indonesian hospital in North Gaza. This is an operational tactique from the Israeli forces, and now it is hitting Al-Auda and the Indonesian hospital. These two hospitals in North Gaza have been besieged, denied power, water, and food for many days. They are full of patients and staffers and the international medical community and the international decent community needs to stop these attacks on the healthcare and the hospitals in Gaza. Listen to the director of the Indonesian hospital, Dr. Marwan Al-Sultan, in his dramatic yet soft-spoken appeal.
Since mid of the night, the Indonesian hospital exposed to attack. They attacked the second and third floor. Now we have 40 patients and they need oxygen and they need critical care. Electricity is off. They cannot make the generator on because of a lot of attack and a lot of danger. Please, our brother and sister, all the humanitarian societies, urgent call, help our medical staff and the injured people.
We cannot let this happen. We need to stand up and defend Al-Auda Hospital and the Indonesian hospital and all the other hospitals and the healthcare workers in Gaza and in the West Bank. We demand from the EU governments that they, together with the UK government and Scandinavian governments, demand from the United States to stop all shipments of arms to Israel until there is a ceasefire, the siege of Gaza is opened, and the healthcare system in Palestine is defended by international forces. Now, we demand it now.
So he's actually been a doctor in Palestine for months. And I guess, I don't know if he took a break or if he's done or going back. I'm not sure, but he was making videos like every day, just talking about how he was amputating children's appendages without any kind of painkiller and without gauze, and I mean just atrocities beyond the worst horror films you've ever heard of. And there's, you know, he's one of so many doctors who have been there who have said, you can't keep doing this. Like, you can't. We're watching this, and nobody can say they don't know what's going on. Nobody.
No, I mean, imagine. As I watched that, so many thoughts, emotions. But imagine the horrors he's seen. You know, and I remember, just as you were saying, so many doctors, didn't they? I was watching videos of doctors recounting, and I know they wrote a letter to genocide and Biden, appealing.
99 of them.
Yeah, and just how they would, you know, every day they saw a new baby, you know, come in with its, you know, being shot in the head or in the chest. Like, these are perfect shots. You know, there's no way it could be an accident. These are expert marksmen, you know, snipers. It's just absolutely the most disgusting thing. And we've been seeing it day in, day out, you know, for over a year now. And I hate that it's like, I'm almost desensitized every time I hear about another hospital that's being bombed by Israel. It's like, it's never ending. And, you know, I just, it's so despicable. And I don't know what to do or say, you know, but I have a strong inclination to just start ridiculing Israel and try to, it's almost like, I don't know, trying to conjure up some horrific emotion, you know, is not good enough. I need to like berate them for how just much of a cowards they are. And I don't know. It's heart-wrenching. I don't know what else to say, really. But
I'm going to ask you a kind of a personal question, and if you don't want to get into it, that's totally fine. Something I've been really wrestling with is people in my life who, like, I thought were good people and are like trying to justify it, or still, you know, vote shaming for not voting for Kamala and stuff. Do you have like friends or family who just don't fucking get it?
Well, I have, you know, interesting thing about me, I'm pretty much completely estranged from my family for, you know, I guess different reasons, but politics is certainly one of them. But I really don't, you know, communicate with too many people. Like as I've gotten older, Joy, my circle of trust has just diminished, and the
Yeah.
people that I let into my life, I guess. But I don't really have the time of day. I mean, people know. I mean, I have friends obviously that are like vote Trump, and they think me being a communist is just absolutely ridiculous and silly. But they, because of social media, they know how I feel about certain things, so I don't really have to. I guess I don't find myself getting into conversations. I'm more so getting into arguments with strangers every day. It's
Yeah.
not really anybody that I know. It's like I'm just putting out content for people that I don't know, and then just doing this when they piss me off. But no, I can't really say that in my own personal life that like I get into like heated arguments with friends or anything. But that's probably better that it. But you have a lot of people like that in your life. I take it.
I do, and not just. It's not that I get in arguments with one, but they're family, so I can't do much about it. But a lot of it is just observing their just complete lack of interest.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like,
That's yeah. But I used to be a liberal. Okay, I'll speak very honestly. I
so did
mean,
I.
my journey to being a communist and just where I'm at now it didn't happen overnight. So there was a point in my journey that I didn't think it applied to me. I was just
Yeah.
what can I do? I mean, obviously the world's too complex for me to understand. I just want to focus on music, or it's too much. But then as you learn more, you realize that everything is political, and you are absolutely affected by this. And you taking an anti-political stance is a political stance in and of
Yeah.
itself. So there's no escaping it. But yeah, so I can understand there are people that are like, well, I'm fiscally conservative and socially liberal, and
Mhm.
they give you all these like nice flowery non-answers.
Yeah.
And oh, it's just too much for me to think about. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. What can you say? What do you say to that? I mean, it's kind of. Do you have more people like that than you do? Like my dad was very
Yeah.
much like staunch conservative Republican. I just despise. But he was old. He was 80 years old. I mean, he's dead now. Rest in peace. But boomers. That's what they
It's
do. They die.
freaking boomers. I don't care. Call it ageist. It's freaking boomers. It is. Like my mom is 79. She has never had a cell phone, never had the interwebs, nothing. Like
The interwebs.
she's low income, so she's never been online or anything. So all she has is the MSM, which
Yeah.
hopefully will die off
Oh
as
God.
the
Hopefully. Yeah.
generations,
Right.
But I tell her stuff and she's like, well, I haven't heard of that. And I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm telling you, because I have to be your source of fucking news because you
Yeah.
don't hear about it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's so fucking frustrating.
But with my dad, he was always get very heated, and like I thought he was going to have like a heart attack if we talked about it more. So I just avoided the whole topic altogether. Anytime he tried to
Right.
make some, I mean, he was glued to Fox News and Breitbart and all this bullshit. But I was like, he's 80 years old. Okay, I just want to enjoy the time that I have with him.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we didn't really get into it, even though we were diametrically opposed. And I think he knew that, but
Right.
we just didn't broach the subject as much. But
Do you think that, as your father aside, do you think that Republicans are sometimes easier to have conversations with than shit libs?
well, you touched on it a little earlier when you were saying, I think you said something to the effect of these liberals are almost worse. And it's because they masquerade as one thing that they're not. They have all this nice rhetoric, and they feign moral opposition, and they try to paint themselves as, I don't know, this more pious alternative, or
Mhm.
but they're not. Materially speaking, when it comes to policies, like rhetoric aside, they are a wolf in sheep's clothing, whereas the Republicans are a wolf in wolf's clothing. And at least with the Republicans, like they're
Yeah.
openly fascist, you know what to expect. But it's the more they say the lesser of two evils. We got to vote the lesser of two evils. I think it's more evil what the liberals are, what the Democrats are doing. I think that's more evil because it's more insidious, and it's normalizing what should not be normalized, and they're making it as if they're one thing that they're not. But
and that's where all this fucking selective outrage bullshit comes. Because it's like if Trump wins again, which honestly I think he will, if he wins again, do you think that all of a sudden shit libs are going to be in the streets with us and be like free Palestine because now but they'll have like fuck Trump signs because it'll now be a red genocide,
or maybe they'll just attack leftists and communists and socialists even harder for you did this to us. Which is completely bullshit. I mean, it's the Democratic Party's own undoing. The Democratic Party literally gave us another 4 years of Trump. I think you're right. I think Trump is going to win. I think Kamala is going to lose. So if that's the case, that's the Democrats' fault. They engineered the whole thing to be that way, and that's why communism is so beautiful because it just answers. It's like we live in a corporate duopoly. There is a class war. Both political parties are owned by the same class of people. Both are AIPAC funded Zionists. Excuse me. So you're going to get pretty much the same result. And the fact that you are, believing that you're falling prey to this political theater, this grift that's happening before your eyes. You're being marked and you're falling for it. And I try to tell my audience that, we think of it like blue, red, but it's two wings of the same bird, two cheeks of the same ass, offense and defense for the same team. It's the ratchet effect.
Two balls of the same sack.
I hadn't heard that one.
I just made it up.
That's great. I love it. I'm gonna start using that one.
You can, you can feel free.
Thank you. I stole it from you already. Excuse me. But people just, I don't know. They just think that it's I don't know how they don't see it at this point is what I'm trying to say.
I really, I make the comments like I am blind and I see this shit. What the fuck is your problem?
What is your problem? You have no excuse at this point. Okay, you're watching a live stream genocide. It's like if the Holocaust was live streamed, that's what and you're saying, let's vote more for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there was a really great video, and I forgot the guy's name, but he's talking about these Kamala voters. You're saying you're going to step over the piles and piles of these dead bodies of children and hold your nose and say, let's vote blue again. And I just that really hit home for me. I
have that video to show.
Yeah.
Actually.
Oh, you do? It's so good. I watched it again.
I watched it like 10 times, and I probably will ugly cry because I usually do, because it's probably the best video on Palestine I've ever seen. Honestly, it's so profound.
Yeah.
Matt, do you want to play the next one?
Holocaust is vilely misused. For instance, October 7th wasn't a Holocaust. However, I would say that what's happening in Gaza resembles the Holocaust that I lived. Israel has pushed people from their homes and their property. The Nazis took my grandparents' beautiful apartment, and we were allowed to live in designated neighborhoods. Netanyahu and his government will not be content until every last Palestinian is either dead or driven from Gaza, from the West Bank. They're using starvation, different instruments of murder. I would include what is happening in Gaza as a Holocaust.
And the Nazis did use starvation as a weapon as well.
He did.
But yeah, she's right. I mean, it's on point. It's a Slowlocaust. Well, now it's not because it's ramped up. But I mean, you know, the 75-year occupation, you could say. It's been a Holocaust, but just moving very slowly.
Yeah.
But now it's at a fever pitch, and yeah, it's the crime of the century. And it's just awful. It's like if the Holocaust was live streamed. I mean, and I saw Matt's comment, which I thought was kind of funny. If we have election integrity, Trump's definitely going to win. Did you see he worked at McDonald's for a minute?
It's true. But you know what? Kamala
Working class
said
hero.
this once or twice where I grew up in the middle class. As you guys, I worked at McDonald's when I was 16. And you know what? I was good.
Chat, this might be the best Kamala Harris impersonation I've heard yet. I mean, you just nailed it. She sounds like she's 4 Xanax in, 2 Chardonnays, and she's just like,
oh my God, it's so bad. Thank you.
Yeah. No, that was really good. That was really good.
It was a debate.
It was a debate.
It was a debate. You know, I love school buses. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round.
I mean, you're talking way more sense than she does. That sounds way more intellectual than.
No, I'm quoting her.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
She's like, I love electric school buses. Oh my God.
And then she says, when I was a kid, I planted trees for Israel through the Jewish National Fund. And
she said that?
Yeah, she always talks about how she planted, whenever she wants to endear herself to her pro-AIPAC Zionist audience, she says, as a kid, I planted trees for Israel. And Yisrael Chai. Gross.
Oh my God. You know what's funny? I don't know if you knew this. Her dad is a professor and actually teaches socialism and communism.
I did hear this. I have not looked into it. I hear it here and there, but I don't. Apparently he's a communist.
He has come out against her numerous times and said how disappointed he is.
Yeah, and then you have Trump, on the other hand, saying she's Kamala Marxist. She's not Kamala Harris. She's Kamala Marxist. She's a communist. And
I wish they were even half as radical as Republicans as they are.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Give me Kamala then. Where's Kamala Marxist?
I know. Bring it on.
But and just speaking about the corporate duopoly that we live in, it's a known tactic that the Republicans paint the Democrats as this crazy radical left extreme. That's the far reaches of the most extreme leftist black hole. And meanwhile, the Democrats in actual reality are masquerading as if they're centrist Republicans. You have Kamala saying, I want more Republicans in my cabinet. We need more Republicans. I'm basically a Republican, guys. And I just think,
and that now she's like talking about how she owns a gun, and she's like,
oh really?
Yeah, oh yeah. She's like, I have a gun, okay? And if someone come to my house, guess what? They getting shot.
Their ass is getting shot.
She literally said that, and then now she's talking about a border wall and stuff. Like she's
just whatever you need her to be. She doesn't stand for anything. Whatever you need her to be, whatever's going to put her in the chair.
I had an endorsement of Liz and Dick Cheney. Okay.
She sounds like she's just perpetually having a stroke. Yeah. She can't. She's slurring her words.
Video I saw yesterday. It's on my Twitter, and she's like this, and she sounds like a 14-year-old boy going through puberty. It is so fucking weird.
It's so insulting. I think listening to her speak, and just she's basically insulting her entire audience. She says she's basically saying you're fucking dumb. I can say whatever I want. I'll just talk in circles and word salads and just say all this thing and use my hands and talk down to you, and you're gonna have to eat shit anyway. So what does it matter?
Which proves they're a cult.
Yeah.
Vote blue no
Oh,
matter
yeah.
who is a fucking cult.
Yeah. And did you see Elon Musk, his interview with Tucker Carlson? Did you catch any of that?
Yeah.
Where I just thought that was so funny. I had to make some videos about it, but he, how because you're saying the Democratic Party is a cult, and it's like it's true. And Elon Musk it says, he says the Democratic Party is a machine. It's run by elitist billionaires, and he's like, yeah, that's true. But then he's like, I'm an elitist billionaire and I'm going to campaign for the Republicans.
Right.
It's like, yeah, the Republicans, dumbass, are also owned by elitist billionaires. You yourself are an elitist billionaire and you want to elect an elitist billionaire. Am I right? I mean,
yes.
I hate that, man.
They have the same donors.
Yeah.
Like it goes that far. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's like these, corporations donate to both. That way, whoever wins,
they win.
They're golden.
Yeah. And, but yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Matt, do you want to cue up the
Let's
next
do it.
And as of today, there is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world. The first time this.
Wait, what?
But let's understand.
So where the fuck are we right now?
Where were they? I had the same reaction. I'm like, wait, what? No.
Incredible. And people are like, she didn't mean that. She fucking said it. Like
it's like when Biden said, I can't believe I saw beheaded babies. I never thought I'd see beheaded babies. And then the White House staff was like, oh, he didn't actually see beheaded babies. He didn't mean that. Yeah. Same vibes.
I mean, this is, Biden who got arrested with Nelson Mandela. Like he's had an incredible career, but he had to step down. But he's always been a very honest man. So I was hoping Kamala would take over that and continue his legacy. And she certainly is in the as far as Gaza goes.
Yeah.
And Matt, I think I know I have at least one video on that.
I blacked out after you said Joe Biden was Nelson Mandela.
You never heard him say that?
No.
He said he got arrested with Nelson Mandela fighting apartheid. Like, I'm not even fucking kidding you.
Oh my God. Why haven't we been grilling him for this? Or at least I haven't.
Because he's a Democrat. Like
freedom fighters.
Yeah.
Leonard Peltier, there's Nelson Mandela, and then there's Joe Biden.
Yep. They should Joe Biden. Joe Biden.
Let me be clear.
Oh, God.
We reject the ICC's application for arrest warrants against Israeli leaders. Whatever these warrants may imply, there is no equivalence between Israel and Hamas. And it's clear Israel wants to do all it can to ensure civilian protection. But let me be clear. Contrary to allegations against Israel made by the International Court of Justice, what's happening is not genocide. We reject that. We will always stand with Israel and the threats against its security.
It's not genocide.
Yeah, he said one thing, right? He said there should be no equivocation between Israel and Hamas, or they should not be
that was accurate.
equated. Yeah, that's true. They shouldn't be thought of as the same. But yeah, he's just a double down clown. I love how he's got to, say, hey, the international community, the international legal organizations that we pioneered in the wake of World War II, they are wrong. Okay?
And the UN, like we've always propped up, fuck them too.
Yep. Bunch of Jew haters. That's what it is. They've gone rogue. The whole world has gone rogue, folks.
Yep. And we care so much about Israeli people. We care about them so much as a country that even though 1 million of them have been protesting against this genocide in Tel Aviv, like continuously, we're not going to listen to them because we care about them so much.
That's a
And I
good
know
point.
they're not protesting the end of it because they give a fuck about Palestinians. I get that, but they're
Yeah.
still calling for the end of it, so that's good enough for me.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously the Israeli public is very out there, but you're right. That's a good point. Even the public is in disagreement with its own government, and so yeah, I thought we cared about the Israeli people. Oh no, I like TL Orca's comment here. He thinks he's John Wayne, and that's I couldn't put that.
Oh my
I was
God.
thinking that you said it before I could articulate it, but yeah, in that
You dog-faced pony soldier.
yeah,
No, I got it from a movie.
Yeah,
Sir,
let me-
that was never in a movie. Yeah, it was. I saw it in a movie.
Let me be clear, Pilgrim.
Let me be clear. Closest
I-
to security.
Israel
It's
has
a
the right.
stutter. I always like when someone says it's a stutter, all I hear is like, it's a stutter. Like heavy metal music playing in the background.
That's fitting. That could good
Matt,
emotion it evokes.
what else do you have there?
The business sector in the Arab American community. And I was really surprised this week to get an earful to hear them say that they would much rather either vote a third party, not vote at all, or vote for Donald Trump. And I'm telling you, it's not obviously a significant sample size, but I cannot find one Arab American within my social circle in business or personally who have said that they will vote for Kamala Harris. When you look at the polling, it seems sort of neck and neck. What they are saying, and this is not a Donald Trump campaign line, that Tiffany Trump's father-in-law, who's a Lebanese businessman, has been successful in kind of converting and talking to people to explain why Trump would be better, even with a Muslim ban, even with everything else that has happened. They feel they do not have any political clout. They don't have any political operation. The only political power they have is their vote, even if it means the rise of Donald Trump. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. The business.
Yeah, the only political power we have is our vote, and we're just giving it away.
I like
Yeah,
how she said she was surprised because Muslim people have not been saying this for like ever.
Are you being
It's
sarcastic,
very-
or you mean that really? Like, are you being sarcastic?
Yeah, I'm being
Oh, okay.
sarcastic. Like
Yeah, okay.
all
Yeah.
my like I've been organizing with a local Palestine group for over a year.
Right.
And literally
could you be
all of
surprised?
our Muslim members who come to our rallies and stuff have said not only don't vote for her, please vote for Jill Stein. Like
Yeah.
even when they get up to speak at events, if you care about Palestine and you care about ending this genocide, vote for Jill Stein. There is no bigger fuck you than if
Yes.
we get that 5% and this
Mhm.
duopoly gets a third party and
Mhm.
politics are changed forever in our country because we finally said people who support Palestine, we are finally going to make this happen and it's your fucking fault.
Yes, we need to show
There's
them we
no bigger
do
fuck
not
you.
consent to this. Let's start exercising that third party muscle, folks. Let's get
Yes.
it going.
For real.
We have to actually form. And I was thinking about this earlier before I got on, and you would think that with the advent of creeping fascism, the prospect of another 4 years of Donald Trump, you think that the opposition to that would form would meet its severity, would meet that degree. But no, that's not what we're getting. We're getting the opposition is saying, no, we're going with the Republicans. The Democrats are basically Republicans. They're trying to endear themselves that way. But no, we need actual opposition parties, in America. And
Choice.
and I'm gonna make a video on this, but it's like, Donald Trump, what do you think about AIPAC? And roll a clip of him speaking at AIPAC, how much he loves Israel. Okay, Kamala Harris, what do you think about AIPAC? Well, when I was a kid, I planted trees for Israel. Okay, Jill Stein, what do you think about AIPAC? AIPAC should be registered as a foreign agent. Bingo. She's not bought by AIPAC, And
Absolutely.
That's the defining factor for me, and I think it should be for everyone. And
you know, the thing about, you know, Democrats are Republicans with identity politics. And I mean, if you care that much about identity politics, Jill Stein's a Jewish woman and her VP's a black Muslim. How about that?
there you go. Look at that. Wow. Have we ever had a Jewish president? Have we ever had a
No.
Muslim vice president? I don't think
No.
so.
People are anti-Semites.
Yeah, right.
Do not support Palestine.
Jill Stein's an anti-Semite.
No, she's a fake Jew. That's
She's a
what
Jew-hating
people call
Jew.
her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That's right.
So
Don't try
gross.
to question that either. That's fact.
Seriously. Gross. Matt, I think like oh, okay. Yeah, you can play that one.
Some in hospitals. How risky is it that you could lose the election?
Well, it is undeniable that it is something that everyone is aware of what is happening there. I speak publicly all the time about the fact that there are so many tragic stories coming from Gaza. And of course, the first in this phase of everything that has happened, the first most tragic story is October 7th.
When
And
history
what
started.
happened that day, and then what has happened since. And I think what's critically important as we look at this moment is, one, acknowledging the tragedy of what has happened in Gaza in terms of the extraordinary number of innocent Palestinians who have been killed, and taking that seriously and speaking truth about that. In addition, of course, to what I said about what happened on October 7 in terms of 1,200 innocent Israelis being slaughtered, women being horribly raped. And then fast forwarding to today with the killing of Sinwar, this creates an opening that I believe we must take full advantage of to dedicate ourselves to ending this war and bringing the hostages home.
But it's not working so far.
You know what? Listen, as it relates to the issues in the Middle East and in particular in that region, it has never been easy. But that doesn't mean we give up. Okay?
Oh,
It is always going to be difficult. It does not mean we give up. We can't give up.
Oh. They've done so much, guys. They've been working they're working on the weekend.
Working around the clock.
That's
for
right.
a year. I guess that means you're fucking ineffective.
Yeah, that's exactly the point. It's like, okay, you are incompetent then. You know, it's like either you're intentionally engineering these things, or you're just so incompetent at getting the things done that you say that you're going to do that you don't, earn our vote. But the best that you can say is that they're incompetent. I mean,
yeah,
I've gotten in fights with vote blue no matter who liberals about this, and that's basically their argument. Oh, well, they could have codified. Well, they couldn't have codified abortion rights because the Democrats were just like too Republican in the 2010s and under Obama, and they just they had 50 years, but they really they were too divided. Okay, so
why are you blaming the black man, Rathbone?
Oh,
like I did not think that this was going to happen when I asked him on my show, you guys.
Guys, I gotta go. Please don't cancel me.
No, subscribe now. Matt, since we've been like talking so much, do you want to just play the there's the clip Rathbone and I were talking about? It's by can't see who it says.
Oh yeah.
The gentleman that's above the Butch Ware clip. He's like profile view.
I like how you got like playlists set up. So I'm learning how you do this because
it's all Matt. It's all Matt.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because of my blindness, I can't like.
Matt's the OG. Matt's the VIP. I get it. There he is.
Can you describe it to me a little better than that?
It's the guy. It's right above Butch Ware. I put it in there twice by accident. It's towards the bottom.
Is it the Israeli PR strategy one?
No, there's no heading. It just says Butch Ware. Butch Ware posted it.
Oh, it is a Butch Ware one. Okay.
Yeah, it's the one right above Butch Ware talking himself.
It might be this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You survived 4 years of Trump. You could survive again. 240,000 Palestinians did not survive 4 years of Biden. You survived Trump. You survived it. Trump is going to be worse than Biden. Let's measure it. What do you mean relative to what happened to the Palestinians? Tell me what is so terrifying that you are willing to forgive the genocide in Gaza. Tell me what scares you so much that you are willing to step over Sidra's lifeless corpse with the legs blown off and say, excuse me, sorry. That you will step over Hind Rajab's cold corpse that was shot at 360 times by the Israelis while she sat in the car waiting for an ambulance that was blown by Israeli tank. That you step over Hind Rajab's body, sorry Hind. That you would step over Reem's body. Tell me what's so terrifying. You step over Reem, Ar-Ruh, spirit of my spirit. That you step over the child, you can't identify this child, the head's blown off. You step over them. You step over those 240,000 corpses to get to that ballot box. You step over all of them. You walk by the Palestinian refugees walking by. Where are you going? I'm going to the ballot box. Voting for who? You're too ashamed, embarrassed to say it at that time. You walk to the ballot box. You walk over those bodies, piles and piles of those bodies. Drenched in the blood. You see those kids in those images of the hospitals, crushed by the rubble, their arms are hanging, blood dripping for no other crime than some random people from the West said this land belongs to us. You will walk all over those corpses, go to the ballot box, vote for the one who did it to them, Jalal. Vote for the one who slaughtered them. Vote for the one who massacred them. Vote for the one who continued to lend every impunity to them. Vote for the one who broke the whole international order to slaughter those children, to slaughter our brothers and sisters, to commit the most brutal genocide. You will cross all of those corpses to the ballot box. You will put a cross next to the name of Harris, the one who committed the genocide with Biden. And you will yell to those spirits and say, I did it for you. You will look at them in the eye and say, I voted this for you. You will say that I voted for the one who killed you. I voted for the one who gave the bombs to slaughter you. More bombs than Dresden, more bombs than Hiroshima, more bombs than Nagasaki, more bombs than World War II. I voted for the one who gave unfettered access to all those weapons. I voted for the one who sent the Marines to help kill you. And you will dare to look me in the eye and say you did it for Palestine. You did it for them. The nerve, the sheer arrogance of it. It's not for Palestine. It's for your comfort.
Yep.
It's for your status quo.
Mm-hmm.
For the luxury that you live. Trump is not going to blow up your limbs. You're not going to have a limb amputated in the next 4 years because there's no anesthesia. You survived 4 years of Trump. You can survive again. 240,000 Palestinians did not survive 4 years of Biden. You survived Trump. You survived it. You didn't have your home taken from you. It wasn't handed to Ben Shapiro. It wasn't given to Ben Walsh. The National Guard didn't ethnically cleanse California of Muslims. They didn't go to the East Coast where it's colder. None of that happened to you in the 4 years. None of that will happen to you in the next 4 years. What are you so scared of? That you will go to the ballot box and say, I'm voting for the genociders. Why would you rescue Zionism? Why would you rescue Zionism when it's buckling? Why would you restore their invincibility when it's breaking? Why would you go to the ballot box and say, Zionism, let me prove to the world that even if they support a genocide, they can still win because no one betrays Zionism? Why would you have the chance to break the two-party system? You go and rescue Zionism.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you have the chance to finally let people lose because they supported Zionism? Why would you go and help Zionism prove that 99 races run, 99 races won? Yeah, you lie. Let there be justice in the world. You will not struggle like the Palestinians. You will not suffer anything like them. Yes, indeed, if you don't set issues with America, come to London. London is nice once you get used to the weather. But do not say you're doing it for Palestine. Don't say you're doing it for Palestine. Be honest and say you're doing it for yourself. Because you don't want to be a people of struggle. Because the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the reason he was so successful was because he continued to persevere through the struggle. He was offered the dunya. He said, I will not give up justice. He was offered the comforts. He said, I will not give up justice. But we're telling our kids that you are not successful until you have the home and the Tesla. Even when you think about it.
Wow. I mean, that might have been the third or fourth time I saw it, but it's just like gives you goosebumps still. And that was amazing. I don't. How do you follow that? You know.
I know.
How do you? He said everything.
Matt, can you put that clip in the chat in case anyone wants to share it? Like, honestly, I think everyone should. It's the best Palestine video I've ever seen, and also it is the most beautiful response to vote blue no matter who. Like,
Yes.
This is what you're doing, and I believe this, and that's why I'm not going to consent.
Right.
So powerful.
Yep.
I try to end every show with a funny. It's not really like, because all this shit gets so fucking heavy.
I just laugh when somebody says, I'm gonna do a funny. All right.
Right. Like,
All right, you laugh.
It was recommended to me by someone. Oh no, show the other one first.
Happy birthday to the future president. Oh God. Did she? Is that real?
I don't know if this is real. I don't know, but I didn't
Man.
ask because I don't want to know. I'm gonna pretend it's real.
Yeah.
Because I literally almost pissed my pants.
How ominous. How foreboding. How foreshadowing, I think. History repeats itself. Herstory repeats itself. Girl boss.
Herstory. Yes,
like,
queen. Yeah.
Don't worry, Palestinians. The person that's dropping bombs on you is a black female.
Yes.
This time. So
we really are making history.
Yeah.
So
That's
gross.
right. I know.
I think that was the last thing I had.
Well, in light of it all, in spite of it all, I enjoyed our conversation.
Me too. It was so great to have you back on. You are welcome anytime.
Cool.
Please tell everyone if they are like under a rock, like where they can find you.
Sure. I'm on TikTok at Rathbone Makes Music. I'm on YouTube just at Rathbone, and Twitter and Instagram also at Rathbone. And just depending on, I guess, the day, because I might be banned on either any or all of those apps, but that's where I'm usually. Oh, and also Twitch as well. I try to live stream every day in the evening, so around about this time. And maybe I could have you on my show. And it's not like a show or anything. It's just we just like sort of do the same thing, just like watch.
Yeah, I've watched it.
Oh, okay.
You're one of like literally like one of one people I watch.
I appreciate that.
No, for my fellow streamers, I was just joking.
No. We love all of you equally, of course. Well, thank you again for having me on.
For Jill.
We are voting for Jill. That's I didn't know that. I need to learn more about Michigan.
And Jill has
big.
74% of the Muslim Arab vote.
That's awesome.
And Muslim Michigan is if you lose Michigan, you lose.
Wow.
So that's why, and that is the fucking place where she did the I'm speaking. That was where she did
retribution, poetic justice.
Seriously.
Yes.
It's just like, well, so it is so important that they, of all people, that they just get out and we're like, nope, Jill, like
Yeah.
you do not take us for granted.
Right.
No.
You lost us.
So yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, it's so powerful. It's the number one concentrated Muslim and Arab constituency in the entire United States.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. So the fact that she is so far ahead, like,
Very
I
cool.
mean, just like, it's incredible. And she has been endorsed by so many Muslim organizations and
Mhm.
stuff. I mean, like, at one of the rallies I helped organize, there's a wonderful woman whose parents actually survived the Nakba, and all of them went to Lebanon when they fled as refugees. So she spoke and she said, I need everyone to raise their right hand. And I was like, okay, I thought she was going to be like, you know, say that you vow to keep fighting for Palestine. And she said, I need you to vow that you will vote for Jill Stein and that you will convince at least 10 people to also vote for Jill
Nice.
Stein. And keep in mind, we're in Pennsylvania. We're one of the states that people are like, oh my God, you have an obligation. You have this obligation. Sit and spin. I
Love
don't
it.
obey.
Yeah, get fucked.
Yep, seriously. And don't use lube either. Like, just seriously.
I hope
go.
it hurts. Yeah. Hope you get a rash, bitch. All right.
I hope you get the lurpies. I hope you have the worst sex of your fucking life. Oh
Absolutely.
dear. See, now I said I was going to be kind of good tonight, and it doesn't happen.
It's okay. I'm just as bad, so it's fine. It's we're in
Well,
good company.
you guys, tune. If you're watching, smash that like, smash subscribe, smash each other as long as it's consensual, and support my work as well. If you want, I have a buy me a coffee that you can
Cool.
chip in. It helps me, you know, throw Matt a few bucks for helping me, and it helps me, like, because I'm blind, I have to take Ubers to events and stuff like that to cover up.
Support the streamer, folks. Do the right thing, okay?
Yeah.
We're not going to ask twice, okay? If you don't do it, I'm coming to find you.
Yeah.
I'll find you.
What's that say?
Sometimes I like to threaten them.
Does it work?
works. I think it's sometimes if you instill the fear of God in your audience, sometimes it's like, oh shit, you know, they have to, and then you get what you want. It's a good thing. It's a good lesson for them to learn. So
That's true. That's true. We're taking a cue from Pope Lunar
sorry, I took charge there.
Money shame.
That's right. Yeah, I don't care if you're poor. We're shaking
well, guys,
you down.
You can come back tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Josh will be joining me for our podcast, The Capitalist Death Parade, who will be the Grand Marshal of this week's Capital Death Parade. You're going to have to tune in. But again, thank you so, so much, Rathbone. I just love you to pieces, and it was so great.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on. We'll do it again soon sometime.
Absolutely.
All
Take
right.
care, everyone. Much love.